Imagine for a moment that you are in a peaceful place, far from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Allow yourself to take a deep breath and reflect on a simple but powerful question. Who am I, really? Not the role you play, not the expectations others have of you, but your true essence. Spiritual awakening begins here with a pause. It is a time to look within and recognize that beyond all the external layers we use to protect ourselves or adapt to the world, there is something pure, authentic and infinite within us. This journey is not about reaching something outside, but about rediscovering what is already present. Often, internal challenges appear like great walls, anxiety, fear, doubts, or even a feeling of emptiness. These feelings, however uncomfortable they may be, are not our enemies. Rather, they are invitations. They are signs that something inside us is asking for attention, healing, and understanding. We live in a world that constantly distracts us. Social media, work commitments, everything seems to pull us out, moving us away from who we really are. This disconnection often leaves us lost, as if we are living on autopilot, without a true purpose. But what if you could change that? What if, instead of trying to find answers outside of yourself, you started listening to your own inner wisdom? This is the invitation of spiritual awakening, turning off the external noise to hear the whisper of the soul. Part of our suffering comes from patterns of thinking and behavior that we repeat without realizing it. Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never make it," or "things always go wrong for me," become beliefs that shape our reality. But here's the secret. These beliefs are not who you are. They are stories you have learned to tell yourself, often based on past experiences. Ask yourself, do these stories still serve me? Do they reflect the person I want to be, or the path I want to follow? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to freeing yourself from them. When we become aware of these stories, we create space to rewrite our narrative with compassion and purpose. At the heart of spiritual awakening is the practice of presence. Being present means experiencing the moment as it is, without judgment or expectations. It's allowing yourself to feel each breath, hear each sound, observe each thought that arises without getting attached to it. Try it now. Close your eyes for a few seconds and bring all your attention to your breathing. Notice the air moving in and out, smooth and steady. This simple act of being present is a way of reconnecting with your essence. When we are present, we realize that life is not something that happens in the future or in the past, but here and now. Small moments of mindfulness can transform our day, helping us deal with internal challenges in a calmer and clearer way. Spiritual awakening also invites us to accept our vulnerability. We often avoid looking inside because we fear what we will find, wounds, insecurities, or regrets. But it's important to remember that vulnerability is not weakness. It is the bridge to authenticity. By accepting our imperfections, we free ourselves from the pressure to be perfect. It is in this space of acceptance that we begin to heal. When we stop resisting what we feel, we create space for transformation. A powerful exercise to cultivate presence and begin your spiritual journey is the practice of gratitude. Every day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big events. It can be simple things like the sun shining, the sound of rain, or a meaningful conversation. Gratitude helps us see the beauty that already exists in our lives, even in the midst of challenges. What's more, it reconnects us with the present, reminding us that there is always something to be grateful for. Another important step in spiritual awakening is reconnecting with nature. Spending time in nature reminds us that we are part of something bigger. The sound of the wind in the trees, the flow of a river, or the twinkling of stars in the sky are reminders that there is a harmony in the universe that is also present within us. Make an effort to spend a few minutes outdoors every day. Walk barefoot in the grass, watch the sunset, or simply sit quietly in a peaceful place. These small practices help us remember our connection to the whole. Spiritual awakening is a path of courage and self-discovery. It's about facing internal challenges with love and compassion, knowing that each step on this journey brings you closer to your true essence. This was the first stage of our inner dive. Let's continue this transformation process together. Now that we have taken the first step towards spiritual awakening, it is time to explore more deeply the internal challenges that keep us from our true essence. These challenges can take many forms, such as recurring emotional patterns, negative thoughts, or even habits that keep us stuck in cycles of stagnation. But it's important to remember, each of these obstacles carries with it an opportunity for learning and growth. One of the biggest internal challenges we face is fear. It can manifest itself in many ways. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. We often try to suppress or avoid fear, but it always finds a way to express itself. And here is one of the secrets of spiritual awakening. Fear is not something to be fought, but understood. When you feel afraid, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to show me? Is there something in my life that I need to face or change? Fear can be a valuable teacher, as it shows us where our insecurities lie and invites us to face them with courage and compassion. Another common challenge on the spiritual path is dealing with our shadow. The shadow represents those parts of ourselves that we prefer to ignore or hide, such as anger, envy, or guilt. However, the more we resist these parts, the more they influence our actions unconsciously. Spiritual awakening teaches us to bring light to our shadow. This means recognizing these emotions and accepting them as part of who we are. For example, instead of saying I shouldn't feel angry, try to understand where that anger comes from. What need of yours is not being met? What old wound is being reopened? By bringing awareness to our shadow, we can integrate it, becoming more whole and balanced. We live in an age where it's easy to fall into the comparison trap. Social networks, for example, bombard us with images of apparently happy, fulfilled, and perfect people. This can make us feel like we're not enough or that we're falling behind. But here's an important truth. Spiritual awakening is a unique and personal journey. There is no right path or finish line. Each person has their own rhythm, their own lessons, and their own purpose. When you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remember that you are only seeing part of their story. Focus on your own journey and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Another major obstacle on the spiritual path is the need to control everything. We often believe that if we plan everything perfectly or try our hardest, we can avoid pain or guarantee happiness. But this attempt at constant control can lead to exhaustion and frustration. Spiritual awakening invites us to trust the flow of life. This does not mean that we should be passive or give up on our goals, but rather that we should learn to accept what we cannot change. When we release the need for control, we make space for serenity and creativity. To face these challenges, we can rely on several practical tools. Here are some of them. Journaling, reflective writing. Take a few minutes every day to write about your thoughts and feelings. This can help you identify patterns, understand your emotions, and find clarity. Conscious breathing. When you feel like you are being overcome by fear or anxiety, practice mindful breathing. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 4 seconds and exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat this cycle a few times until you feel calmer. Guided meditation. Listening to a guided meditation can help you relax and connect with your essence. Choose a meditation that resonates with you and set aside a moment in your day to practice it. View. Imagine yourself overcoming a specific challenge. Visualize yourself facing it with confidence and feeling empowered. This practice can help you shift your perspective and increase your resilience. One of the deepest internal challenges is carrying hurt or resentment. Forgiveness, although often difficult, is a powerful tool for healing. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or justifying what happened, but freeing yourself from the emotional weight that the past can bring. Ask yourself, what do I gain by holding on to this hurt, and what could I gain if I chose to forgive? Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves, allowing us to move forward without the shackles of the past. Finally, remember that all of these challenges are part of your growth journey. Every obstacle you face helps you discover more about yourself and become more aware of your inner strength. As you continue your spiritual journey, recognize that you are not alone. We all face internal struggles, and we all have the ability to overcome them. By embracing your challenges with love and understanding, you take an important step toward your spiritual awakening. The internal challenges we face can sometimes seem like insurmountable barriers, but when we look closer, we realize that these obstacles are actually portals to spiritual growth. Overcoming them requires practice, patience, and above all, a commitment to self-knowledge. We are often our harshest critics. When we make mistakes or face difficulties, it is common for us to be hard on ourselves, judging ourselves relentlessly. But this attitude doesn't help us grow. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of guilt and self-punishment. Self-compassion, on the other hand, teaches us to be kind to ourselves. She invites us to treat our mistakes and imperfections with the same understanding we would offer a dear friend. When we allow ourselves to be human, we create a safe space within ourselves for healing and transformation. Practice self-compassion by telling yourself, "It's okay, I'm learning. It's natural to make mistakes." This small gesture can bring immediate relief and strengthen your connection with your essence. Attachment is one of the greatest sources of human suffering. Attachment to material things, people, results, or even ideas of how our life should be. When we become attached, we place our happiness in something external, making us vulnerable to life's inevitable changes. Detachment does not mean not caring, but rather finding a balance. It's about appreciating what we have, while recognizing that everything is temporary. One way to practice detachment is to ask yourself, do I really need this to be happy? Or am I seeking security in something outside of me? This reflection can help you release what no longer serves your greater purpose. Acceptance of the present moment is one of the most powerful practices on the spiritual path. We often resist reality because it does not meet our expectations. We fight what is, wishing things were different. But this resistance only increases our suffering. Accepting the present moment does not mean giving up or being passive. On the contrary, it is an act of courage. It is recognizing reality as it is, without trying to change it or escape from it. When we accept the gift, we free ourselves from the internal struggle and find the peace that was always available to us. A simple practice for cultivating acceptance is to repeat to yourself, "This moment is as it is." This phrase can help you let go of resistance and open up to what is happening now. Overcoming internal challenges is not something that happens all at once. It is an ongoing process that requires dedication. Therefore, it is important to create daily practices that strengthen your connection with yourself and your spirituality. Here are some suggestions. Morning meditation. Dedicate the first few minutes of your day to sit quietly and observe your breathing. This can help you start your day with clarity and calm. Positive affirmations. Choose a phrase that resonates with you, like "I am enough" or "I trust the process of life," and repeat it daily. Connection with nature. Spend a few minutes outside, feeling the sun, wind, or earth beneath your feet. This simple practice can help calm your mind and recharge your energy. During your spiritual journey, you may encounter resistance. This resistance can come in the form of procrastination, doubts, or even a feeling of discomfort in the face of changes. It's natural to want to stay in your comfort zone, even when we know it limits us. Remember that resistance is just a sign that you are on the right path. It arises because growth requires you to leave the known and explore new territories. Instead of fighting resistance, embrace it as part of the process. One of the most important lessons of spiritual awakening is learning to trust the process of life. Sometimes it can feel like we are lost or that nothing is going right, but in retrospect, we realize that even the difficult moments had a greater purpose. Trusting the process means believing that everything is happening for your highest good, even if you can't see it in the moment. It's like planting a seed. You don't see immediate growth, but you know that with time and the right care, it will blossom. Whenever you feel doubt or uncertainty, take a moment to reflect on the moments when life surprised you positively. Remember situations where something that seemed like a problem turned out to be a blessing. This practice can help you strengthen your faith in the flow of life. Overcoming internal challenges is an essential part of spiritual awakening. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to grow, learn, and connect more deeply with your essence. As you move forward on this path, remember that you are not alone. This journey is shared by everyone who seeks to live more consciously and aligned with their true essence. Now that we have explored internal challenges and learned to face them, it is time to turn our attention to something even deeper, reconnecting with our true essence. This part of the spiritual journey is like returning home, a place where we find peace, purpose, and authenticity. Your true essence is not something you need to create or achieve. It is already there, waiting to be recognized. It is the part of you that remains unchanged, even in the face of life's storms. While your mind may be full of thoughts, worries, and doubts, your essence is calm, silent, and limitless. Imagine a blue sky. The clouds may temporarily cover it, but the blue sky is still there untouched. Likewise, your essence is always present, even when it is obscured by emotions or thoughts. To access your true essence, you need to learn to silence the internal noise. This noise includes not only constant thoughts, but also limiting beliefs and emotional patterns. Meditation is a powerful tool for this. Start with a simple practice. Sit in a comfortable place, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. Whenever your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Don't judge yourself for losing focus. This is part of the process. Over time, you will notice your mind calming down and a feeling of peace beginning to emerge. Another important step to reconnecting with your essence is self-observation. This means observing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. When you become an observer rather than a participant, you gain clarity and perspective. For example, when a negative thought arises, instead of identifying with it, say to yourself, here's a negative thought. This simple shift in perspective can help you step away from the drama within and connect with the calm of your essence. Recognizing your true essence also means realizing that you are not separate from the rest of the universe. Everything is interconnected. The trees, the rivers, the animals, the stars. When you connect with your essence, you feel part of this greater whole. Spend time observing nature. See how everything in nature has its purpose and flows with grace. Trees do not force their growth. Rivers do not fight their course. This harmony is a reflection of the essence that is within you. Much of human suffering comes from identification with the ego. The ego is the part of us that is constantly seeking validation, control, and security. He worries about what others think, compares himself, and fears the unknown. But the ego is not who you really are. It's like a mask you use to interact with the world. As you reconnect with your essence, you begin to realize that you don't need this mask to be loved or accepted. Your true nature is enough. Presence is a state in which you are completely aware and engaged in the current moment. It's the opposite of being lost in thoughts about the past or anxious about the future. To cultivate presence, practice mindfulness in your daily activities. For example, when eating, pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of the food. When walking, feel the contact of your feet with the ground. These simple practices help ground you in the present moment, where your essence can be fully experienced. Loving yourself is one of the most powerful ways to reconnect with your essence. This does not mean being selfish or narcissistic, but rather recognizing your intrinsic value and treating yourself with care and respect. Ask yourself, am I taking care of myself as I would take care of someone I love? This includes not only taking care of your body, but also your mind and spirit. Prioritize time for yourself, practice self-care, and say no when necessary. Silence is a portal to your essence. In a world full of constant stimuli, finding moments of silence can be transformative. Set aside time each day to be silent, even if just for a few minutes. In this space, you can hear the subtle voice of your intuition and connect with the peace that is within you. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is a key to accessing your true essence. Holding resentments is like carrying unnecessary weight. When you forgive, you free up space for joy and peace. Practice forgiveness by visualizing the person or situation you want to forgive. Imagine sending light or love to her while saying to yourself, I choose to release this pain and move on. This simple practice can bring immediate relief and help you reconnect with your essence. As you reconnect with your essence, you will find that you begin to live more authentically. This means acting in accordance with your values, expressing your truth, and allowing yourself to be who you really are. Authenticity is liberating because it eliminates the need to please others or live up to external expectations. This journey to find your essence is not about perfection, but about authenticity. It's about remembering who you are and living from that place of truth and love. Now that we have gone through different aspects of the spiritual path, from internal challenges to reconnecting with our true essence, the time has come to live this journey fully. Spiritual awakening is not a destination, but a continuous path of transformation and evolution. With each step taken, a new understanding, a new perspective reveals itself. And it is precisely in this process that we find the beauty and depth of life. True spiritual awakening does not occur in isolated moments of meditation or introspection, but in the integration of spirituality into our daily actions. This means living consciously, paying attention to what we are doing, feeling, and thinking. For example, when doing simple activities like washing the dishes or walking, you can practice mindfulness. Observe every movement, every sensation, as if it were a moving meditation. This type of practice helps cultivate a state of continuous awareness and keeps us connected to our essence, no matter what we are doing. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining connection with what is essential. When we focus on the good in our lives, we open space for more blessings to enter. Gratitude helps us shift our perspective, becoming more focused on the present and abundance, rather than scarcity or problems. Take a moment every day to reflect on what you are grateful for. It could be something simple, like a pleasant conversation with a friend, a child's smile, or the beauty of a sunset. The more you practice gratitude, the more it becomes a natural part of your life. Taking care of yourself is essential to maintaining the energy necessary for spiritual awakening. Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity. This includes taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. Exercise regularly, eat nutritiously, get enough sleep, and above all, take care of your emotional state. Give yourself permission to rest, to step away from activities that drain your energy, and to spend time with those who make you feel good. As you move towards spiritual awakening, it is natural for your view of the world to broaden. You begin to perceive more deeply the suffering of others, and as a result, develop a greater sense of compassion and empathy. These feelings help us connect with others in a deeper, more meaningful way. When we see others as a reflection of ourselves, separation begins to diminish. This allows us to act with more kindness and understanding, not only toward others, but also toward ourselves. Spiritual awakening is not a finish line, but an ongoing process. As you go deeper into your spiritual practice, new layers of understanding and self-knowledge begin to emerge. And there is always more to learn, more to experience, more to discover. This should not be seen as pressure, but as an invitation to curiosity and expansion. Spiritual life is a constantly evolving journey, and the most important thing is to embrace the process with humility, patience, and trust. Along this journey, you will begin to realize that true freedom comes from letting go. Letting go does not mean letting go, but rather freeing yourself from the need for control or anxiety about the future. When we let go, we find an inner peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. This freedom is a reflection of your essence. It is the recognition that you are complete and sufficient, regardless of possessions or external situations. When you live this way, you will be aligned with the truth of who you truly are. As spiritual awakening becomes a natural part of your life, you will begin to trust your inner wisdom more. This wisdom comes from a place deep within you, beyond intellect or logic. It arises when you learn to listen to your intuition, trust the signs of the universe, and follow the path that resonates with your heart. To access this wisdom, simply reserve moments of silence and reflection. Trust your feelings and notice the answers that arise in your mind and heart. Your inner wisdom has always been there, just waiting to be heard. True spiritual freedom is living with love. Love for yourself, for others, and for life in its entirety. This love is not something that is found outside of you. He is your essence. When you connect with this unconditional love, you realize there is nothing to fear. Fear disappears as love fills all space, transforming everything around it. As you complete this journey of spiritual awakening, remember that the path continues. Every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to expand your consciousness. No matter where you are on your journey, the most important thing is to keep moving forward with courage, love, and confidence. And remember, you are connected to something much bigger than you can understand. The universe is always in motion, and you are an integral part of that flow. Trust that as you continue your journey, you will find what you are looking for: peace, purpose, and most of all, connection to your true essence. The journey of spiritual awakening is continuous and full of discoveries. In the next video, we will explore how to connect even more deeply with the universe and understand how it is in perfect harmony with your essence. Until then, continue cultivating the love and wisdom within you. This is just the beginning. Spiritual awakening is a never-ending path, and you are already exactly where you need to be.